Hi everyone, so welcome to my channel. Myself Raza, and in this video I am going to discuss the multiple choice questions related to the chapter probability. Right, so this particular video is useful for all competitive exams related to class 10 syllabus. Right, so please don't skip the video and watch the video till the end. So if you like the video, please share with your friends so that they also get benefited from this video. Right, so without making any delay, so let us get into this particular chapter. So question number 1. So first of all, we are going to discuss all the previously asked questions, so then we will discuss the remaining problems. So Karishma and Reshma are playing chess. The probability of winning of Karishma is 0.59. So probability of Karishma winning is 0.59. Then the probability of Reshma winning is, so probability of Reshma is equal to how much? Then already we know probability of Karishma plus probability of Reshma should be equal to 1. So from this, probability of Reshma can be written as 1 minus probability of Karishma, which is equal to 1 minus 0.59. So 1 minus 0.59 is nothing but 0.41. Hence the answer is 0.41. Next, Vinita said that the probability of impossible event is 1. So impossible event means already you know its probability should be 0. That means Vinita is wrong. Next, Dhanalakshmi said that the probability of sure event is 0. So already we know that sure event is its probability will be 1. Hence Dhanalakshmi is also wrong. Next, Sirisha said that the probability of any event lies in between 0 and 1. So in the above, with whom will you agree? So what Vinita said was wrong and Dhanalakshmi also said was wrong. Then who is correct? So only Sirisha is correct. So we can say that Sirisha said the probability of any event lies in between 0 and 1. Hence the answer is 0 and 1. Next, a page is opened at a random page from a book containing 90 pages. So if a book is containing 90 pages, that means the sample space contains 90 elements. So n of s is equal to 90. Then the probability of page is a perfect square. So since he is asking perfect square, so what are the possibilities we have? 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square, 5 square, 6 square, 7 square, 8 square and 9 square. Because 10 square will cross 90. Hence what will be the answer? So number of favorable outcomes by total number of outcomes, that is nothing but 9 by 90. So 9 by 90 is nothing but 1 by 10. Hence the answer is 9 by 90. So which? So option Delhi. Right. So 9 by 90 means 1 by 10 is my answer. Okay. Next, moving on to question number 4. From the figure, the probability of getting blue ball. If you observe, how many blue balls are there? So 1, 2, 3, and totally how many balls are there? 5. So out of 5 balls, we are having 3 blue balls. Hence the probability of getting a blue ball is 3 by 5. Next, the probability of picking a red king card from a well shuffled deck of playing cards. So totally we are having 52 cards in a deck of cards. Next, picking a red king. So red king means, so how many kings will be in each suit? So there will be one king. Now red king means, so there will be totally 2 red kings. There will be totally 2 red kings. So 2 by 52, which is nothing but 1 by 26. Next, getting a prime or composite number is a dash event. So getting a prime or composite number is a mutually exclusive event. So if one happens, then the other won't. So getting a prime or composite number is a mutually exclusive event. Right. So if prime number occurs, then composite number won't occur. If composite number occurs, then it won't be prime. Right. So that is nothing but we call it as mutually exclusive. Next, coming to 7th one, the probability of getting a head when a coin is tossed once is. So when a coin is tossed once, then the possibilities are head and tail. So total outcomes are 2. So what is my favorable outcome? So getting a head. So there is only one chance. Hence the answer is 1 by 2. Next, which one of the following cannot be the probability of an event? So already we have discussed that the probability of any event. So if A is any event, then probability of that event always lies in between 0 and 1, and it will be equal to 0 and it can be taken as 1. So from this 0.7 lies in between 0 and 1. 2 by 3, since the denominator is greater than numerator, it will be less than 1. Next, minus 1.5. So probability can never be negative. Probability can never be negative, hence it is not possible. 4 by 5. So 4 by 5 means denominator is greater than numerator, hence it will be less than 1. So clearly this can be the probability, right? Next, coming to question number 9. Probability of E is equal to 0.26. Probability of E bar. So already we know the formula. If E is any event, probability of E bar is given by 1 minus probability of E. So which is equal to 1 minus 0.26. So which gives me 0.74. Hence the answer is 0.74. Next, probability of getting a 7 when a die is rolled is. So when a dice is rolled, on a dice you are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers. So there are only 6 numbers that are possible. But what is asking? So getting a number 7. So on a dice, number 7 is not possible, hence it is called as impossible event. So for an impossible event, the probability will be 0. Next, moving on to question number 11. Which of the following situations have equally likely events? Equally likely events. So getting 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 is when a die is rolled. So when a die is rolled, so getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is a equally likely event. Next, winning or losing a game. Winning or losing a game. Next, head or tail when a coin is tossed. So if you observe, all these 3 are equally likely events. Hence, option D is my answer. Right? So winning or losing a game. So there are only 2 options. Next, here also getting 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. So that means, so before rolling a dice, so it is an equally likely event, right? Next, the probability of picking a letter from the set of English alphabets is 5 by 26. That alphabet can be. So since here there are 26 alphabets, out of which 5 are vowels and 21 are consonants. Now from this, what we can say? The probability of getting a vowel is 5 by 26. So clearly the letter would be a vowel. So for suppose if we ask about 21 by 26, then it is about consonant, right? Okay, next. The same question, if you ask 26 by 26, then you can say that any alphabet. Okay, if a die is rolled, then the probability of getting a prime number is. So when a die is rolled, so what are the favorable outcomes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So out of this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so what are the prime numbers? 2, 3 and 5. Now based on this, so what is my probability? Total outcomes are 6 and favorable outcomes are 3. So 3 by 6 is 1 by 2. Hence the answer is 1 by 2. Next, which of the following cannot be a probability of an event? So probability of an event cannot exceed 1. That means option D is nothing but 1.3333, which is greater than 1. Hence it is not possible. Next, moving on to question number 15. From a deck of cards, a card is drawn at random, then the probability of getting a red king. So red king means, so there will be 2 red kings out of 52 cards. So hence the answer is 1 by 26. So already this question was asked in one other previous year, right? So probability of an event is 1. Then probability of its complement, so P of E bar, is nothing but equal to 0, because we know that probability of E bar is equal to 1 minus probability of E. So already probability of E is 1, so 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. Next, when a die is rolled, the probability of getting an odd prime number. So when a die is rolled, so what are the outcomes that are the total outcomes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Among this, what is asking? Odd prime number. So among these odd prime numbers are 3 and 5. So then what will be the answer? 2 by 6, so which is nothing but 1 by 3. Hence the answer is 1 by 3. Next, the probability that the sum of 2 numbers appearing on the top dice is 13. Now when you toss 2 dice, when you roll 2 dice, then the maximum numbers on both the dice are 6 and 6. right? So if you add them up, the maximum sum what we can obtain is 12, and the least sum that we can obtain is 1 plus 1, which is equal to 2. That means sum of numbers obtained on the top of the two dice will range from 2 to 12. Then there is no matter of 13, hence 13 is not at all possible, hence it is an impossible event, hence its probability will be equal to 0. Right, next moving on to question number 19. Probability of E is equal to 0.05, then probability of E bar. So probability of E bar is equal to 1 minus probability of E, so which is equal to 1 minus 0.05, which is equal to 0.95. Hence the answer is 0.95. Next, which of the following be the probability of an event? So among this, so which of the following will be probability of an event? Now since it is negative, so this cannot be probability of an event. Next, this is 2.4, which is greater than 1, hence it cannot be the probability of an event. 0.7 lies in between 0 to 1, hence it can be the probability of an event. Next, 115%. So 115% means already we know in percentages the probability can be written as 0 to 100%. Okay, so since it is exceeding 100%, so it can't be. Next, probability of E is equal to 0.65, then probability of E bar is equal to, so simply what we can say, 1 minus 0.65, so which gives me 0.35, hence the answer is 0.35. Next, probability of E is equal to 0.82, then probability of E bar is equal to, which I can write as 1 minus 0.82, which is nothing but 0.18, hence the answer is 0.18. Next, let E and E bar be the complementary events in a random experiment, then which of the following is true? So already it is a standard question, so P of E bar plus P of E is equal to 1. Right, next, which one of the following cannot be the probability of an event? So whenever you are having fractions, so just go that denominator is always greater than the numerator. Now if you observe 2 by 3, so denominator is greater than numerator, denominator is greater than numerator, and 0.7 means 7 by 10 we can write, so denominator is greater than numerator, but here numerator is greater than denominator, hence it cannot be the probability of an event. Okay, next, on random selection, the probability of getting a composite number among the numbers from 51 to 100. So from 51 to 100 I need to find out the composite numbers. So instead of writing all the composite numbers, so we can write down the prime numbers. So from 51 to 100, what are the prime numbers we have? 53, 59, 61, 67, 71, 73, 79, 83, 89, 97. Right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So out of these 50 numbers, so totally we are having 50 numbers. Out of these 50 numbers, 10 numbers are prime numbers. So since 10 numbers are prime numbers, so we are going to subtract it from 1. So 1 minus 10 by 50, which is nothing but 40 by 50, which is nothing but 4 by 5. Hence the answer is 4 by 5. Or you can simply say, if 10 numbers are prime numbers, then automatically 40 numbers are composite numbers. So 40 by 50, which is nothing but 4 by 5. So likewise also you can answer this question, right? Next, moving on to the next question. P of E bar is equal to 0.65, then P of E is equal to 0.35. Next, at what value of x, 5 by x may possible probability of an event? So what should be the value? So already we have discussed, if you want to have a probability, so there is a possibility of writing it a probability, always the denominator should be greater than numerator. So the only possibility we have is, since numerator is 5, so denominator should be either 5 or 6. So 5 is not possible, so 6 is possible, right? Next, if P of E is a probability of an event, then 0 less than or equal to P of E less than or equal to 1. Right, option C will be my answer. Next, probability of getting right answer to a question is 0.68. The probability of getting a wrong answer is, so wrong answer is means simply what we can say, from 1 we need to subtract it. So 1 minus 0.68, which is nothing but 0.32. Hence the answer is 0.32. So this 0.32 I can write it as in percentage as 32%. Both A and B will be my answer here. Next, two fair dice are rolled and face values are added. The probability of getting an odd number greater than 8 is. The probability of getting an odd number greater than 8 is. So now what are the sums that are possible? So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So these are the possible sums. So to get the sum as 2, so we are having one possibility, two possibilities, three possibilities, four possibilities, five possibilities, and six possibilities. Next again, so we need to reduce the values. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so totally there are 36 possibilities, among which we have divided them like this. So to get the sum as 2, so we are having one possibility. Now what is he asking? The probability of getting an odd number greater than 8. So odd number greater than 8 means 9 and 11. So for these two possibilities he is asking you to write down. So what are the favorable values? So 4 plus 2 by total outcomes are 36. So possible outcomes are 4 and 2. Next, 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 by 36 is 1 by 6. Hence the answer is 1 by 6. Right. So to get sum as 2, there is only one possibility. To get sum as 3, there are two possibilities. Likewise, you can write down the table, and based on that, so what is he asking? You simply write down the value. Next, a jar contains 3 mangoes and X guavas. 2 fruits are pulled out from the jar without replacement. An expression that represents the probability one fruit is mango and the next fruit is guava is. Now 3 mangoes are there. So there are 3 mangoes and X guavas. So there are X guavas. Now what is n of s? That is nothing but the sample space is nothing but 3 plus x. 3 plus x. Now what is he asking is, so without replacement, so 2 fruits are pulled out. An expression that represents the probability of one fruit is mango and the next fruit is guava. So first we are pulling out a mango. So if you want to pull out a mango, so there are 3 possibilities out of 3 plus x. Okay, so when you pull out a mango, then what will happen? The total number of fruits count will reduce by 1. That means there will be only 2 fruits, sorry, x plus 2 fruits will be left over. That means x plus 3 minus 1, because one mango is already taken away. Now I need to take out a guava. So already how many guavas are there? So x guavas are there. So the possibility of getting a guava is x, and total number of fruits are x plus 3 minus 1. Since one after the other it is being happened, so that's why we need to take multiplication. So regarding this multiplication you will understand in your higher classes, right? Then what would be the answer? So 3 by x plus 3 into x by x plus 2. So this is my answer. So 3 by x plus 3 into x by x plus 2. So this is nothing but the multiplication. Right, next coming to question number 3. A card is pulled out from a deck of cards. The probability of obtaining a club is. So what is meant by club? So a club is nothing but a particular symbol, right? Now what is he asking? So obtaining a club. So how many clubs will be? So there will be a suit of clubs. So 13 by 52. So 13 by 52 is nothing but 1 by 4. Next, moving on to question number 4. 3 different greeting cards and their corresponding covers are randomly strewn about on a table. If Sita puts the greeting cards into the covers at random, the probability of correctly matching of all the greeting cards and covers is. Right. So what is saying? So there are 3 greeting cards and 3 covers. Right. So if Sita puts a greeting cards into the covers at random, the probability of correctly matching. So correctly matching means, so every card will get into its own. So then what is the what are the possible cases? So what are the possible cases we have? So for suppose if I take greeting card number 1, card number 2, card number 3, right? So let me take it as greeting card 1, greeting card 2, greeting card 3, and this is cover 1, cover 2, cover 3. Okay, so greeting card 1 can go to cover 1 or cover 2 or cover 3. So for greeting card 1 we are having 3 possibilities. For greeting card 2 also we are having 3 possibilities. For greeting card 3 also we are having 3 possibilities, right? Then from this what I can say, if G1, C1, G2, C2, G3, C3 is one possibility, right? So G1, C1, G2, C2, G3, C3 is one possibility. If G1, C1 goes to G1, C1, then if G2, then G2, C3 and G3, C2. If I fix G1, C1, then these two possibilities are coming. The same way, if I fix G2, C2, if G2, C2 is fixed, then what will happen? Again we are going to get two more possibilities. If G3, C3 is fixed, then you are going to get two more possibilities, right? Okay, so totally how many outcomes are coming? So 6 outcomes are coming. So out of 6, only one such possible case will be there, in which G1, C1, G2, C2, G3, C3 will coincide. So from this what I can say, the answer is 1 by 6. So out of 6 cases, only in one case all the cards will get into their own covers. Next, question number 5. If a coin is tossed, then the probability that a head turns up. So when one coin is tossed, head turns up means there is only 1 by 2 probability. Next, if a die is rolled, then the probability of getting an even number. So die rolled means, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So out of this, 2, 4 and 6 are the even numbers. Hence the chance is 1 by 2, which is nothing but given by 3 by 6. So 3 by 6 on simplification, I am going to get 1 by 2. Next, question number 7. If two dice are rolled at a time, then the probability that the two faces show different numbers. So already we know, so if they show same number, so then how many possibilities are there? So 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6. So there are 6 possible cases where it shows the same number, right? So out of 36, if I remove these same numbered ones, then I am going to get the different numbered faces, right? So there are totally 30 possibilities. So 30 by 36, so which gives me 5 upon 6. Hence the answer is 5 by 6. If two dice are thrown simultaneously, the probability of showing the same numbers on their faces is, so if they want to show the same faces, so already we have discussed previously, so 30 by 36, so here you will get 6 by 36, so which is nothing but 1 by 6, or its a complement you can consider here. Hence the answer is A. The probability of getting a number less than 5 when a die is rolled. So when a die is rolled, the probability of getting a number less than 5 means those are 1, 2, 3, 4. So totally 4 possibilities are there out of 6. So 4 by 6 is nothing but 2 upon 3. Hence the answer is 2 by 3. Next, if a card is drawn from the pack, the probability that it is a king. So there are totally 52 cards and there will be 4 king cards. So 4 upon 52 is nothing but 1 by 13. Hence the answer is 1 by 13. Next, if a card is drawn from a deck of 52 cards, the probability that it is a club card. So clubs means, so totally you will have 13 club cards out of 52, which is nothing but 1 by 4. Hence the answer is 1 by 4. Next, in a lucky dip of 30 tokens, so totally there are 30 tokens, Gopi purchased 2 tokens, then the probability of getting the first prize is, so since he is having only 2 tokens, so favorable is 2. So 2 by 30 is nothing but 1 upon 15. So there is no 1 upon 15, so 2 by 30 will be my answer. Next, if a ball is drawn at random from a box containing 11 red balls, So 11 red balls means, so the total possibilities is nothing but 11 plus 6 plus 9, right? So 11 plus 6 plus 9. Now what is he asking? Then the probability that the ball is not green. So not green means you can take red and white. So red and white means 11 plus 6. So 11 plus 6 is 17 by, so 11 plus 9, 20, 26. So 17 by 26 is my answer. Next, the probability contains, the box contains pencils and pens. The probability of picking out a pen at random is 0.65. Then the probability of not picking a pen. So not picking a pen means 1 minus 0.65. So which is nothing but 0.35. So already these type of questions we have already discussed, but with a different way of asking. So is changing the questions. Next, which of the following are equally likely events? First one, getting a head or tail in tossing a coin. So clearly this is an equally likely event. In a throw of a die, getting prime number or composite number. So here 1 is not a prime number or composite number, so that's why third event will come. So that's why they are not equally likely. Next, drawing a number card from 1. So number card from 1 to 50, a number divisible by 6 or 8. So it is not equally likely, no. Next, picking a heart or black. So this is also not equally, only one possibility is there, getting a head or tail in tossing a coin. Next, in a simultaneous toss of two coins, probability of no tails. Now when two coins are tossed, so how to write down the sample space? Just observe this. So when you are tossing two coins, simply follow this order. Okay, so when you toss two coins, so there are totally 4 possible outcomes. So totally 4 possible outcomes, right? So those 4 possible outcomes can be written like this. So out of 4, what is half of 4? So half of 4 is 2. Then write down 2 heads and 2 tails. Next, after that, so what is half of 2 again? So half of 2 is 1. So write down head tail, head tail. Now among these, we are getting only one possibility where we are getting 2 tails. That means he is asking probability of no tails, no. So no tails means, so only one possibility is there. So only one possibility out of 4. Hence the answer is 1 upon 4. In a simultaneous toss of two coins, probability of getting at least one head. So probability of getting at least one head. So at least one head means, so this is possible, this is possible, and this is also possible. So at least one head means one head or 2 heads. Okay, then the answer is 3 upon 4. Next, in a single throw of 2 dice, the probability of getting a total of 12. So total of 12 means only possible when 6 plus 6 is added. That means those are the largest numbers. So 6 plus 6 is 12. So only one possibility out of 36 possibilities. Hence the answer is 1 upon 36. Next, moving on to question number 19. In a single throw of 2 dice, the probability of getting a total of 3 or 5. So 3 or 5. Now simply remember this. So whenever you are asked to find out, so when you are having sum of two numbers, if the sum is from 2 to 6, if the sum is from 2 to 8, sorry, not 8, so from 2 to 7, then you simply follow this formula. So simply follow this formula. It is nothing but sum minus 1. So if sum is from 2 to 7, so follow sum minus 1. If sum is 8 to 12, so if you ask from sum as 8 to 12, then simply write it as 13 minus sum. Okay, so if you ask sum is 2 to 7, then take the variable as sum minus 1, and if he asks from 8 to 12 as sum, then simply consider this 13 minus sum. Now let us see how we can apply here. So he is asking the total is 3 or 5. So total is 3 or 5 means, so sum is 3 here, first one. So sum is 3 means simply it is belonging to this range, right? So you can write it as 3 minus 1, which is nothing but 2 by 36 plus. Now R means we need to consider plus. Next, sum is 5. So 5 also belongs to this category. Then 5 minus 1 is nothing but 4. 4 by 36. So 2 plus 4 is 6 by 36. So which is equal to 1 by 6. Hence the answer is 1 by 6. In a single throw of 2 dice, the probability of getting a total of 11. So total of 11 means, so it belongs to this category, no? Then I can simply write as 13 minus 11 by 36, which is nothing but 2 by 36, which is equal to 1 by 18. Hence the answer is 1 by 18. Next, in a single throw of 2 dice, the probability of getting a doublet. So doublet means getting 1 1, 2 2, 3 3. So likewise, so there are totally 6 such cases. 3 3, 4 4, 5 5, 6 6. So totally there are 6 cases out of 36. So 6 by 36 is equal to 1 by 6. Hence the answer is 1 by 6. So doublet means nothing but getting double number, right? In a single throw of 2 dice, the probability of getting distinct numbers. So distinct numbers means, so clearly it will be 5 by 6. Because getting same number is 6 by 36. So getting distinct numbers means 30 by 36. So this 30 by 36 I can write it as 5 by 6. Hence the answer is 5 by 6. In a single throw of 2 dice, the probability of getting even doublet. So even doublet means 2 2, 4 4, 6 6. So there are 3 possibilities out of 36. That is nothing but 1 by 12. Hence the answer is 1 upon 12. Right? Next, question number 24. When 2 dice are rolled, probability of getting odd doublet. So odd doublet means same like before, 3 by 36, so which is nothing but 1 by 12. Next, 2 dice are rolled, the probability of getting 6 as the product. So 6 as the product means simply you need to go with the possibilities. So 1 6, 2 3, 3 2. Next, with 4 it is not possible, with 5 it is not possible, so 6 1. So only there are 4 possibilities. So 4 upon 36. So 4 upon 36 means 1 upon 9. Next, the set of all possible events is called as, the set of all possible events is nothing but called as sample space. Right? The set of all possible events is called as sample space. Next, the event of getting a number less than or equal to 6 is a. The event of getting a number less than or equal to 6 is a. So here he need to mention in throwing a die. So in throwing a die he has to mention, then it would be a sure event. Okay. Next, when a coin is tossed, so here the mistake is he did not give in throwing a die. So if it is a throwing a die, then sure event will be my answer, right? Next, when a coin is tossed, the probability of getting a head is, so when a coin is tossed, the probability of getting a head is 1 upon 2, right? Next, moving on to question number 29. When a die is rolled, the probability of getting a composite number is, so whenever you roll a die, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 are the total outcomes. Now among this I need to consider the composite numbers. So here 4 and 6 are the only composite numbers we have, so which is nothing but 2 by 6, which is equal to 1 by 3, because 1 is neither prime nor composite, so you should be careful regarding that, right? Next, from a deck of cards, a card is drawn at random, then the probability of getting a black face card is, so getting a black face card. So how many face cards will be in a suit? So in a suit you are going to have 3 face cards, king, queen and jack. That means, so is asking black face card, so blacks will be in 2 suits, so 2 3s are 6. By totally how many cards will be? So 52. So 6 by 52, right? So in 3 table if I cancel it out, so 2 by 13. So in 3 table it won't go, right? So in 2 table if I cancel it out, 3 by 26. Hence the answer is 3 upon 26. Next, from a bag containing 6 red balls, 5 green balls and 3 blue balls, that means 6 plus 5 plus 3. Now what is asking? The probability of getting a green ball. So green balls are totally 5. So 5 upon 6 plus 5 plus 3. So 5 by 14. Hence the answer is 5 by 14. Next, there are 50 cards numbered from 1 to 50. A card is drawn at random, then the probability the number is divisible by 8. So from 1 to 50, what are the 8 divisibilities? 8, 16, 24, 32, 48. Sorry, something is missing, right? So 40 is missing here. So there are totally 6 multiples of 8. That means what I can say? 6 by 50. So 6 by 50 I can write as 3 by 25. Hence the answer is 3 by 25. Next, question number 33. The event which cannot happen at all. So which is not at all happening is nothing but called as impossible event. Next, the probability of a certain event is always 1. Next, the probability of impossible event is always 0. Probability of any event always lies in between 0 and 1. Next, probability of E and E bar. So all these are all standard theoretical questions, right? Next, in a box there are 28 marbles of which X are green. So there are X green marbles and 28 minus X white marbles. Okay, if the probability of getting a green marble is 2 by 7, then the number of green marbles. So getting a green marble means, so total greens by total marbles is equal to 2 by 7. So in 7 table, if you cancel, it goes 4 times. So from this X is equal to, on doing cross multiplication, I am going to get 8. Hence the total number of green marbles are 8. Next, question number 39. Number of white marbles in the previous question. So if totally 8 marbles are green, then the remaining all are white only. So 28 minus 8 is nothing but 20. Hence the total white marbles are 20. If E is event whose probability is 2 by 5, then probability of not E. So probability of not E means, so 1 minus 2 by 5, which gives me 3 by 5. Hence the answer is 3 by 5. Next, from a well shuffled pack of cards, a card is drawn at random, then the probability of getting a red jack card. So how many jacks will be in a suit? So in a suit you are going to have one jack card, right? And red colored suits are 2. Hence the answer would be 2 by 52, which is nothing but 1 by 26. Hence the answer is 1 by 26. Next, from a well shuffled pack of cards, a card is drawn at a random, then the probability of getting a red colored card. So red colored card means, so totally there will be 2 suits. So 2 suits means 26 by 52. So 26 by 52 is nothing but 1 by 2. Next, question number 43. If an unbiased coin is tossed, the probability of getting a tail is, so if you toss one coin, so then getting a tail is 1 by 2. Hence the answer is 1 by 2. If 2 dice are rolled simultaneously, then the sum with the greatest possibility to happen is, so when 2 dice are rolled, then the greatest sum that is possible is 12, right? Hence from the options, so none is the only option we have, right? If 2 events have same chances to happen, then they are called as equally likely events. Next, if the occurrence of one event prevents the occurrence of other event, then we call such events as mutually exclusive events. Next, probability of switching on a bulb in a dark room is 0.35. Then probability of not switching the bulb is 0.65, because P of E bar is equal to 1 minus P of E. By applying that formula, we are going to get that, right? Next, question number 48. The probability of raining in a day is, so the probability of raining in a day is, so we cannot say whether it rains or not, so none will be my answer. Or if we take it as, so rainy day and sunny day, so if you consider rainy or sunny, there are the only 2 possibilities we have, then we can say that it is 1 by 2. So probability of raining in a day is 1 by 2. Otherwise, so if there is no chance of saying that, then none would be my answer. Okay. Next, if one side is chosen at random from the sides of a right angle triangle, then the probability that it is hypotenuse is, so there will be 3 sides, out of which only one will be hypotenuse. Hence the answer is 1 by 3, right? Next, when a die is thrown, the probability of getting neither a prime nor composite number is, so neither a prime nor composite is nothing but only possibility is 1, which is nothing but 1. So 1 upon 6 will be my answer here, right? So answer is 1 upon 6. Next, when a coin is tossed, probability of getting a tail or head. So tail or head means, so getting a tail is 1 by 2 and getting a probability of getting a head is 1 by 2. So or means you need to add them, right? So 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 is 1. Hence the answer is 1, right? Next, getting a tail or head is, so getting a tail or head is equally likely events. So getting a tail or head is equally likely events. Next, getting a prime or composite number. So getting a prime or composite numbers is mutually exclusive. So if one number is prime, then it can't be composite, right? Next, getting a red card or black card is, so they are also mutually exclusive. Next, probability of sure event. So probability of sure event is 1, probability of impossible event is 0. Next, probability of face card from red cards. So if you consider red cards, so there are totally 26 red cards. So out of these 26 red cards, from each suit you are going to have 3 face cards, king, queen and jack. So since we will have 2 suits in red cards, so 6 by 26. So 6 by 26 means 3 by 13. Hence the answer is 3 by 13. Next, moving on to question number 58. The probability of drawing a black king from the deck of cards. So totally deck of card means 52 cards. I need black king, so there are only 2 black kings. So 2 by 52 is nothing but 1 by 26. Next, the probability of drawing a black card from the black cards. Drawing a black card from the black cards. So totally there are 26 black cards. Among this, I need to take out black cards. So 26 by 26 is nothing but 1. Next, probability of getting 2 tails when 2 coins are tossed is, so probability of getting 2 tails when 2 coins are tossed is, so when 2 coins are tossed, there are 4 possibilities. So what are those 4 possibilities? Head head, head tail, tail head and tail tail. Now what is he asking? So both the tails, so only one possibility, hence the answer is 1 upon 4. Next, there are dash cards in a pack of playing cards. So these 52 cards are also called as deck of cards. Next, probability of E is equal to 0.05, then probability of E bar is equal to 1 minus 0.05, which is nothing but 0.95. Next, probability of G is equal to 4 by 17, probability of G bar is equal to 1 minus 4 by 17. On taking LCM, 17 minus 4 is 13 by 17. Hence the answer is 13 by 17. Next, P of n plus P of n bar. So whether P of E plus P of E bar or P of n plus P of n bar, it is nothing but 1. Next, a baby is born, the probability that it is a boy or girl, so that it is a boy or girl is nothing but, so probability is 1. Okay. Next, probability of E plus probability of not E is equal to 1. So these are all standard questions. Identify true statement. So 0 less than or equal to P of E less than or equal to 1. Next, there are dash face cards. So there are totally 3 face cards, right? So there are totally 3 face cards. Hence, sorry, not a 3 face cards. So if you ask face cards in a suit, so if he says in a suit, then it would be 3. If he says in a deck, then it would be 12. Okay, so based on the question, we are going to have the answer. Hence, none will be my answer here. Probability can never be negative. So, negative value cannot be taken. Hence, minus 2 is not possible. Next, question number 70. So, a die is rolled once. Then the probability of getting an even number or a multiple of 3. Now, let us see. A die is rolled. So, die is rolled means, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are the possible condition, possible values we are going to get. Now what is he asking? Getting an even number. So getting an even number means 2, 4 and 6. That is nothing but 3 by 6. or, so r means addition, and r a multiple of 3. So multiple of 3 means 3 and 6. So wait here, so 3 and 6. If you observe, 6 is being repeated in both the events, right? Now here for 3, what I should do? So for multiple of 3, I need to consider 2 by 6. Next, since 6 is repeated in both the cases, so I need to subtract that 1/6. That is nothing but 1 upon 6. Then what I am going to get? 3 plus 2, 5. 5 minus 1, 4 by 6. So 4 by 6 means 2 by 3. Hence the answer is 2 by 3. Probability that a leap year has 53 Sundays. So in a leap year we are going to have 2 odd days, right? So these 2 odd days can be Sunday Monday, Monday Tuesday, Tuesday Wednesday, Wednesday Thursday, Thursday Friday, Friday Saturday, Saturday Sunday, right? So how many possible cases are there? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So there are totally 7 possible cases. Now what is he asking? So he is asking you 53 Sundays. So 53 Sundays means, so it should have the combination of Sunday. So this possible case and this is one more possible case. So out of 7 cases, 2 cases are such that it will give me 53 Sundays. Hence the answer is 2 by 7. Next, 2 dice are thrown once together. What is the probability of getting a doublet? So probability of getting a doublet is nothing but 1 by 6. Next, probability of E and probability of E bar. So when you add them up, it will give you 1. So 1 minus 1 is 0. Hence the answer is 0. Next, P of E is equal to 0.455. Then P of E bar is equal to, so P of E bar is nothing but 1 minus 0.455. So when I do subtraction, so 10 minus 5 is 5. So 9 minus 5 is 4. So 9 minus 4 is 5. 0.545. Hence the answer is 0.545. Next, P of A complement. So P of A complement is nothing but, so 1 minus P of A. So P of A complement is nothing but 1 minus P of A. So these are all the multiple choice questions related to the chapter probability, right? So thank you for watching the video. So stay connected with the channel for further more videos. So do support the channel by sharing with your friends, right? So thank you for watching.